Welcome everybody to another edition of Worcestery Council Theater 3000. I'm getting a weird glare on my screen somewhere. There it is. How's everybody doing tonight?
Wonderful. How are you?
Peachy.
I like the J.J. Abrams glare.
Yeah, that's a stylistic choice. Yeah, you know, I'm something of a
it's like a Transformers movie.
You know me. Yeah. Gentlemen, Bill, Brendan, Travis, did anybody do or see anything cool this weekend?
Do or see anything cool this weekend? No.
I'm muted.
Nothing.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Jesus. How long have we been doing this program? I had a fun weekend. Had Katie's Boogie for Boobies benefit at Ralph's on Saturday. Raised north of $6,000 for breast cancer research.
Amazing.
Nice.
We had the room at capacity a couple times up there. It was really cool. It was really fun. So thank you to everybody. Anybody listening who came out. Good time. Very good time.
Who won the glass sign? Anybody cool?
A long lost gay in Katie's life. His name's Mario, I think.
Wow.
Who showed up for the event and bought a few raffle tickets, I remember, and they are the recipient of the Town of Fuck Glass. So hopefully they use it well and put it right over the bed.
Good for Mario.
Yeah. Yep. Good for them. And now we're here, and I hate it. I've been watching the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting from yesterday all day. 5-hour meeting. Torture, pure torture. And now I'm ready to continue that torture with City Council.
Sweet.
What do we got? What do we got on the agenda? Pretty light agenda today.
We're banning your cigarettes.
It's a light agenda. Yeah, so there's some things that I think are honestly going to take some time. From Councilor Ojeda.
Remember last meeting when Councilor Ojeda was asking all those questions about the fucking fire hydrants? The dude has no fucking idea what he's doing. And honestly, I have a very hilarious Louis Ojeda exchange already transcribed from the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting yesterday, where Jordan Berg Powers called him out for trying to stop a housing development because of concerns over the homeless people who might be around it. And it's really good. It's really good. So
interesting. I would love to hear more about that because what?
Yeah, so he got up. So a woman that lives in the Green Island neighborhood got up to oppose this housing development on Grosvenor Way because the homeless population, quote, is the building going to be secured? I don't think people are going to be paying a good amount of rent and want to be walking over homeless people on their doorstep. Louis Ojeda gets up, the next speaker, and Louis Ojeda says, and then on the bigger picture, some of this can become a safety issue, like one of the residents was talking about, safety and security there. There's a lot of issues going on in that neighborhood, and I'm not asking the developer to take full responsibility, but have they done their due diligence? What will they do if something happens? And then Jordan Berg Powers says, when they're getting ready to vote on this, Jordan Berg Powers says, just trying not to let my brain melt from my city councilor saying we shouldn't have housing because there's homeless people. To which Louis Ojeda gets back up for a second time at the end of the discussion and complains about the lack of respect he's being shown. And no, he didn't say anything about the homeless population over there, which he absolutely did. I mean, he didn't say the
talking about then.
He didn't say the word homeless out loud, but the speaker before him called homeless people a security concern, and then he said, yes, there's a valid security concern. So, I mean, that's, in my opinion, at least, pretty open and shut book on that. But he went on I actually clipped all the video, but it's not quite together yet. But actually, let me see if I can do this. Let me see, because this would be funny. I'll just show that I'll screen share iMovie. Window. Let me see here. See if this is possible. Because this is pretty good. Oh yeah, I can do that. Look at this. Ready? Watch this. This is a new medium.
The future.
Yeah. So here we have our lady complaining about homeless people. Can we hear it?
No, we're not getting sound. Are you sharing sound in the share tab? And then after that,
jeez. See, this is what happens when we try to improv. I don't know if I'm sharing sound. So maybe throughout the course of this meeting, I'll try to get that together, put it on YouTube, and then we can.
And then we're golden.
Yeah.
Speaking of YouTube, if anybody doesn't know, I started a new podcast on YouTube. It's called The Tube in Time. There it is. Got one episode in where I, from memory, recount the entire plot of Hubie Halloween. It's 48 minutes long.
I let it play in the background at the studio the other day.
I think
the way a podcast should be enjoyed.
Yeah, working on episode 2 right now, and lining up some interviews for next week's episode as well. So I'm trying to convince the editor-in-chief of Fangoria to come on the show. So yeah, well, because that's my preview of coming attractions. I really want to deep dive into what genre the movie is, and I have some theories that are a little out there. But yeah, if you haven't checked it out yet, or if you're, just do me a favor, watch it, see if you like it.
It's a snuff.
It's honestly worth it. Like,
it's not. It's. My supposition is going to be that it's an Italian giallo slasher film. So, okay. But that's my expert for that. Yeah. So yeah, check it out. And yeah, I'm trying to think. There was something else on the agenda that was interesting. Maybe.
Sure. I got some. Hold on.
Ojeda had a couple items, and then Mo had one at the end that was about signing on to basically taxing nonprofits.
Yeah.
Yes, he has a resolution to support a House bill that would tax large nonprofits like colleges and hospitals, I think, at 25% of their property value. Or their property value, what they would be
right if they have over 15 million in property,
something like that. Yeah. So coincidentally, Louis Ojeda, after going on the anti-unhoused person rant today we'll be asking for an update concerning the city's plans for unsheltered during the winter months, showing he cares. It's definitely in good faith and not in bad faith that he's asking that question.
It's nice that we have the timing nailed again too. It's a week before Mo starts wondering when leaf collection will pick up. That we start talking about home. It's not like it's cold outside or anything now. I mean, this is normally the type of time of year I just sleep out in the backyard, anyways.
Just for
right.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Right. Yeah.
In trouble with your family.
Joe Petty is asking for an update relative to the status of exempting the positions of the chief of police and deputy chief of police from civil service, which has been a whole thing.
Before we get too far away from it, do we think the Mo thing is related to the hotels? Like, this is Mo scrapping at anything he could think of to try to get back at the colleges?
Yeah, for sure. He said as much. I think at one of the 4-hour WPI hotel meetings that we were subjected to, he said that there's a bill in the state house to tax nonprofits 25% of their property value. So
going back to even before Mo being on the council, he's always been very vocal opponent to the Dover Amendment that gives not-for-profits their tax exempt status, like as a matter of statute in Massachusetts. And there's this really weird thing that you'll hear him mention Cambridge and Harvard every once in a while. There's this really obscure carve-out for the Dover Amendment that Cambridge somehow gets some money from Boston, but nobody can ever figure out where it even exists in state law. It's this very, very obscure thing, and it's only been written about a few times in the Globe. But Mo's always bringing up anytime a college is doing anything not to his liking, trying to figure out a way that we can tax them the way you would a for-profit corporation or property owner, doing what Boston and Cambridge have figured out with Harvard.
Yeah, it's a weird little hill of his, huh?
He's not alone there. It's just it's a funny thing. I mean, it's been going on since Clark started buying up 3-deckers in the 80s. There's a collective of people who do not see any value in colleges taking any sort of land in the city,
and they wonder why we don't feel like a college town. Because Mo Bergman is also like weirdly on that rooming house ordinance that the city has. He always brings that up, and that's very related. The rooming house ordinance, meaning that no more than 3 unrelated people can live together. Right. Which I had a city inspector call and inspect my place that I was living in that was in violation of that, and it was very, very easy to lie to them. Get out of suffering any consequences for having more than 3 unrelated people. What else about? Mo Bergman showed up at the Zoning Board of Appeals last night to argue against a sea of people that was there opposing a gas station on Hope Ave. He said the gas station's actually good, and that he, quote, can't think of a higher use for that plot of land than a gas station. Subsequently, he got roasted, obliterated, actually, by Nate Sabo on the Zoning Board of Appeals, who said, I can't believe I heard a city councilor tonight say that he can't think of a higher use for this plot of land than a gas station when this plot of land can be zoned for housing. And we are in the middle of a housing crisis. I cannot believe that I heard a city councilor say that. So...
Believe it, Nate.
I mean, watchers of this show will believe it. Absolutely will believe it. Yeah. So no, GMO is not becoming based. He's just weirdly right on this one issue. Oh, there's another
piece of land that they're trying to. So, like, I was talking to somebody tonight about that thing at the end of Hope Ave, and it seems like they made a statement that Giovanni's was ready to go within a year or two. But when somebody actually asked the owner of Giovanni's, he was really upset about it and didn't know that they were trying to basically sell the land out from under him.
Huh. Yeah, the owner said that the owner of the property who leases it to Giovanni's said that Giovanni's consented to his sale of the property. But it seems like that might have been a weird lie. Like, he didn't tell the owner of Giovanni's anything about what's going on at the property.
Whoa, a property owner lied?
Yeah, that's crazy.
No, not in this city.
It's also like just this weird, smarmy rhetorical thing where the owner of the property is saying that, his family doesn't want to upkeep it anymore. They want out, but they're not selling it to this gas station. They're doing a long-term lease.
Of course they are. Yeah.
Which means because these are stupid, dumb Worcester yokels, of course the gas station would seek a long-term lease agreement as opposed to owning the property, because what happens at gas stations after 50 years, the gas tank in the ground cracks and it starts leaking.
Right. And they need to skip town before they get in trouble.
Exactly. When you lease the property, you can just get out of there, and you leave the property owner stuck with a
super fun site.
Extremely, a brown site, an extremely expensive environmental cleanup that renders the property useless unless it's the size of a minor league baseball field.
Interesting.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's right there next to a cemetery, so it's fine. You're going to cut out the middleman and just go from one place to the other.
Yeah.
We can create those like sludge zombies from Return of the Living Dead.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I really cannot figure out the city's hard on for gas stations, though, man. They
got Dunkins inside of them. It's just that simple.
There's been no point in my life, as a driver, anyways, that I've ever like had concern about like, oh shit, am I going to be able to make it to a gas station in Worcester city limits? Like the idea, there's so many business models that we're protective of around here, package stores, whatever, like weed dispensaries. Can't have more than 2 of those in a fucking neighborhood. But like you can have every intersection of Worcester needs to have a minimum of 4 gas stations, or it's not a true Worcester intersection.
Right.
That's right.
It's just so stupid.
This gas station will sell beer though, which, you know.
All right. Well, I'm sold then.
It's not
Can't get beer around here.
It's not to go daiquiris. I'm not interested.
Can we acknowledge the best comment we've ever gotten?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Nice.
Get after it.
You're welcome.
You know what? I'm going to thank myself for my service.
You show number 2 who's boss.
Oh, we also have a sort of an odd resolution with Christian King here, that the city council does hereby recognize Ava Ortiz's commitment and dedication as a member of the USA Tap team competing in the 2024 International Dance Organization's World Tap Dance Championships in Prague, Czechia. Is that how you Prague, Czechia? Czechoslovakia, right?
Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Czechia is what it says. October 23rd through 27th.
I mean, I don't even think that's the native way to say it. Like, I know a guy. I know a Czech guy. That's really funny. Czech.
Yeah.
Is it really? I don't know.
So we have a Worcester representative at the World Tap Dancing Competition in the Czech Republic.
Nice.
Which is sick.
Yeah, that does rule.
And this is what we expect of our city councilors, to be giving out like keys of the city and otherwise meaningless acknowledgments.
Right.
Yeah, just want to say in our week off that Donna Connolly got a key to the city, and I've never felt more betrayed in my entire life.
What did she get one for?
I don't know. Dealing with her sons? I don't know. Who knows?
What the heck? Oh,
Changing the minds of tomorrow. Big.
Yeah.
Nice of these city councilors to join us. Jesus Christ, look at this.
I was going to say, there's a lot of empty chairs.
That's metaphorical. How they treat the job.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that, Oliver. Guy at UMass Medical just got a Nobel Prize.
That is really awesome. Yeah.
What is microRNA? That's what I want to know. Do I have microRNA?
I'm telling everybody it is an analog to mRNA, just to see what happens to him.
It's it has to do with the microplastics.
It's Listen, it's not the size of the RNA. It's
how you use it.
It's the way you use it.
Oh, interesting wrinkle in the story for a paper his wife was the first author of. So we have a Worcester Nobel laureate who stole valor from his own wife.
Okay,
Right.
so first motion is approval of the minutes. Those in favor? Opposed, so ordered. Public participation. A person may speak for no more than 2 minutes on the item appearing on the agenda. Just give your name, say your residence, and item number.
Of course, Mr. Mayor. Fred Nathan Worcester.
Fred's getting
items 8 F.
We need to give that dude a swear.
H-I-J.
Right.
So
Is he wearing no t-shirt under that?
It sure looks like that's a lot of chest.
At Newton
Wow.
Hill Park.
Camber, you can't spell women
I
with a stem.
don't know if it's a homeless problem or if it's activities.
He's showing a lot of chest.
Other kind of activities. If you need to install cameras, I would hope the ACLU would not come in and start complaining If it's for the betterment of public safety, it should be a no-brainer.
I don't know if that's how the ACLU works.
10A.
What the fuck is he talking about?
If there are places
All
that
Jenny's Police
are
State
not
Park
paying
orders. I didn't
taxes,
see Jenny's Police State Park orders. I didn't read the
they
agenda
need
very
to
hard.
be
Yeah,
enforced
there's something
in
about
Cambridge. They have special legislation that we
surveillance
can at least
at
tell them, hey,
was it
listen, you've
Newton?
been getting a free
Yeah,
ride.
Newton Hill
No.
behind Doherty.
Newton
Keep
Hill,
on buying up.
I just
countless
assumed it was kids
properties.
drinking
I mean,
on the
just
hill
in the
again. I mean,
last
you used to have keg parties
2
up there all the time in the
years,
90s.
the old Duddy property is controlled by Clark. The hotels are being
I mean,
controlled. Are going to
I
be
don't know. I see
controlled
Jenny
by
at high school parties all the
WPI.
time. I don't know what
I
sure
mean, those
That's
what
Jenny's
her
order?
problem is.
three properties collectively.
I don't know what it
probably
was.
would have
So
brought
she can
in
get
Is it from-
high
probably
school parties.
$3 million a year. I'm just curious, Mr. Mayor, at what point, Mr. City Manager, at what point do you guys just want to keep on hitting the taxpayers for it?
I have the stream maxed, and
And I
it seems
don't
really
really know
quiet.
what number it was.
Does seem pretty quiet.
Last week, when we were talking about the APRA funds. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, please.
Okay.
But the end of the year,
Your mic is a
one
little
way
quiet
or
too, though,
another,
Trav. So maybe it's your
the city
system.
must use
Even still?
that money
That's better now,
or have
actually.
it earmarked for something, or we're going to lose it.
Can you wrap up your comments?
Absolutely. I like to wrap things up, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you.
Definitely you do.
Just
That's
to
a perfect.
clarify,
That's actually finally a good
$46
response from
million
Joe.
to
I feel like,
what?
okay,
Wait
thank
for
you.
it.
Like he's being weirdly
This
sarcastic.
council and you and the
Fred
manager
is.
need to have the gumption here to do what is right.
Thank
Because
you,
the
Freddie.
people are not going to put up with it too much
Thank you.
longer, and everyone here on this council
Okay, we're good.
could be subject to being voted
Okay,
out.
we're good.
Names to the residents and item numbers.
I can't find
Carolina
Jenny's
City
thing
of
on this.
Worcester. I would like to also comment on the security cameras at Newton Hill. It seems they want them for all three entrances, and they're even asking a private bank to put cameras up for Newton Hill.
Is anybody else's audio cutting out? It's quiet, but I can hear it the whole time.
You're actually really
I'm
loud from you,
wondering
Brian,
what's so
tonight.
special
Oh,
Like,
really?
about Newton
not in
Hill.
an unpleasant way, but
We have, I think it is 22.
Oh, you know, I had it
Cox in the
turned
city of
up a
Worcester.
lot because of we were using Zoom
And-
feed last week.
We had the same problems in all the parks. I checked.
Oh, maybe
with
I
the
should have
police
grabbed the Zoom.
officer, And he checked with.
It
the
didn't sound very
area
good. The
crime
the
watch. There
the
have not been
closed
an
captioning is better, but
increase in
the
crime
audio is worse.
at Newton Hill.
Do I sound better now?
So it doesn't make sense to me. And
Thanks,
if it is a
guys.
homeless problem,
I mean,
it
to be
is
fair, Adela or
public
nor Frank
space,
talked right
and
into the
that occurs
Right.
in all of.
talked right into the
parks.
microphone.
In fact, right in
I
the.
meant
common.
Fred instead of Frank. I don't know where Frank came from.
Which brings me,
Yeah,
United
Camber's right. They
States.
were under
I
Parks.
would like to thank Councilor Ujeda for bringing it to the attention of the city council. I slipped this year. I usually bring it to the city's councilors' attention in July or August because we need to do something concerning the city's plan for the unsheltered during the winter months. We definitely need to get on it. I noticed the old registry building is boarded up. We have to do something. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice.
Colin Dover, 135 Olean Street. My name is.
All right. This
item
meeting has to get
10A.
over
My name is Colin Dover, and I
Toronto.
serve
There's
as the
a
executive
new
director for the
episode.
Greater
I
Worcester Land
quote,
Trust.
a new
I'm here to
episode of
speak
Law
in
and Order
opposition to
SVU.
Item 10A.
Out tonight.
The trust was created
show is
to bring
back.
to the city of
Oh
Worcester
my
in
God.
1987, coming directly out of the city of Worcester's What's Left Open Space Plan, where the city requested a nonprofit partner to assist it with meeting the city's open space, conservation, and recreation goals. Over the past 37 years, the city and the trust have worked cooperatively to acquire open space, using the city of Worcester's open space and recreation plans as a guide. These are publicly generated, city council endorsed plans. As a result, the Greater Worcester Land Trust serves as a nonprofit extension of your endorsed local governmental land use policies. It would not be possible for the Greater Worcester Land Trust to pay 25% property tax on the city's valuation. House Bill 2963 would put the Greater Worcester Land Trust out of business. Pilot in 2963 does not have a fiscal mechanism for valuing public access or public benefits provided by these lands. All of the trust lands are free and open to the public. The clean water for bathing beaches on Coes Reservoir and Indian Lake, the clean water for fishing, reduced areas prone to flooding, clean air, reduced maximum summer temperatures, all these municipal infrastructural benefits and many more have real monetary value, and H2963 has no mechanism for capturing these municipal benefits. This would not just impact Greater Worcester Land Trust here in the city of Worcester. It would impact land conservation in all urban areas because land values are necessarily high in developed urban centers. This bill would bring to a halt efforts at land conservation in areas that require environmental justice attention. This is an area the Commonwealth regularly emphasizes, but this bill would end it. I ask you to please oppose item 10A as H2963 is in direct conflict with the best interest of the city of Worcester, the city of Worcester's planning documents, and her residents. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is anybody? Mo, do you want to see if there's a group of people out in the hall, see if they want to testify before we close that up?
Oh, you're making Mo talk to people? Yes, this guy.
See your residents and
Letting Mo talk to people.
Bruce Hoffner, New Hampshire.
Fuck yeah.
So I'd like to talk about numerous things here. I'm a resident of New Hampshire. My family has property here in Worcester regarding 7C, 8H, and 9D, starting with littering signage along Lincoln Street, which includes the associated littering fees. This is an important initiative that addresses a growing concern in our community. In addition to Lincoln Street, I propose extending the efforts to Pasadena Parkway, which has become a cut-through for people heading to the smoke shop and JC Plaza. Unfortunately, this area has turned into a magnet for litter. For example, 600 Lincoln Street, approximately 12 bags of trash were recently removed. Plus, this is a littering problem, is significant, and it must be addressed.
Yeah, he's
Not
here.
just Lincoln Street, but also other affected areas like Pasadena Parkway. Addressing these litter hotspots is not only about keeping our streets clean, but also about safeguarding public health. Littering attracts rodents, vermin, cockroaches, creating an easy food source and posing a serious health hazard to our community. Installing no littering signage is clearly a display that defines a practical and effective step towards prevention. I fully support Jenny's initiative, and I believe it can make a lasting difference. Moreover, businesses that contribute to the litter, such as fast food chains like McDonald's, Wendy's, Dunkin' Donuts, whose wrappers and cups often end up in the streets.
You leave Wendy's out of this,
and
okay?
nearby package stores selling small bottles, commonly referred to as nips and pints, additionally should be held accountable. These businesses should take the responsibility for cleaning up the areas within 3/4 of a mile radius around the establishments. If they fail to do so, fines should be enforced by the city of Worcester. This burden shouldn't be on the taxpayers or a group of individuals that take the initiative to keep their neighborhood clean. When
This
the
burden
problem
should
is
very
a
much be on the
whole
taxpayers.
city problem.
Have trash
And
removal
when
services.
people
We have
in the city
recycling
decide to
services.
dump in the areas, this is the fines collected
Can you
could
wrap up the
be
comments?
could be allotted and dedicated to a special fund supporting the
Kid,
local
learn how to
police
read.
and help purchase essential equipment such as bulletproof vests and
God, I've never seen
binoculars
somebody
and other
struggle to read off a
resources
piece
that
of
paper.
ensure
Wrap up
the
comments,
safety
please.
of our officers. Additionally,
Thank you.
funds could be
Can you please wrap
provided
up the
for
comments,
stipends
please?
for new recruits, helping manage.
Do we not have a dump button on that mic?
No. Turn the mic off.
Ultimately, this initiative is not just about cleaning up litter. It's about
You should start
fostering
playing
leadership
music.
They
for
should
the
just
city
have a
and
kid
take
out there with a
proactive steps to reduce.
a little shillelagh,
Some respect
whack
for
right
a
in the
cave.
back of the leg.
Please wrap up your comments. Other people
Thank
want-
you.
He wasn't even listening.
Anybody else in the audience?
Yeah, he was looking like
Rocket has not said what he wants to be for Halloween. Currently, he wants to be a pain
Good
in the
evening. My
ass.
name is Ted Costas, 44 Blossom Street in Worcester. I'm here to support
Oh,
10A,
brother, this guy sucks.
State Bill
This guy sucks big time.
2963. I think it's required at this point of the way the conditions are now happening with the purchase of the 2 hotels by WPI.
Fuck.
I'm also here to oppose item 9D. Over the weekend, I spoke with many of the small businesses here in Worcester who depend on the sales of cigarettes. Unfortunately, that's how they make their income because it's on an average of 25% of their sales. These are small family-owned businesses who rely on providing for their families other than the other products that they do sell in their stores. I've spoken also with some of the minor chains that are in Worcester, gas stations, and that, again, that's how they make their profits. So with all due respect, I know it's an issue with smoking and with the youth that's why we changed the age from 18 to 21. In the schools, we can teach and educate some of the children and some of the young adults on the aspects of smoking and what the repercussions might be. A lot of these businesses might be able to sustain themselves, but many of them could close, believe it or not, just over tobacco and nicotine products, including the smoke shops. There are many smoke shops in the city, and that's all they sell. You'll be closing them down. So I would think that 9D could be tabled for another day of discussion with other people or even filed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, this guy's an expert.
Is your name, city residence, and item number?
Hi, Andrea Sullivan, Intervale Road, Worcester. Wanted to speak about Resolution 10A. I'm sorry that I haven't had an opportunity to read the bill, Mr. Bergman, but I just hope that there's consideration for the nonprofits and organizations that are not to the scale. I'm guessing this is very much in line with the colleges right now, but there's so many nonprofits in the city that
What did Ted Costas say?
not
Something
paying
stupid?
taxes,
Yeah.
property taxes is how we make our way through. I'm employed by.
No one's
I'm
talking
trying to-
about
the
cigarettes.
city. So
Well, he did a little
apologize that I
bit.
haven't read it.
Uh,
I do hope that there's language.
I'm trying to
supporting,
find some metrics on
other
numbers
nonprofit
of
organizations
what
in the city,
sales for tobacco are in
and
the city
maybe
in
some
a year.
creativity, how we
Because I feel like banning it
further,
within the city is really
make
just going to
best
put
use of our
thousands, tens
colleges
of
in the
thousands of
city
dollars over the
to
border
do
into Auburn and
more
Worcester.
in lieu of their taxes. So
I would
that's it.
say
Thank
it's
you.
way more than tens of thousands.
Yeah.
I would say it's in the high hundreds of thousands.
Is your name, city residence?
We have our attorney, Yale Megan. She's on a Zoom call. If she
Okay.
can join.
Oh, right here. Is she on the line right now? Yeah, we can go. We'll go to the caller. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Niro Patel. I'm here to talk about 9D. I know there are a lot of us and there is attorney as well from our group, but I want to speak specifically for me and many like me. I'm a graduate of Northeastern University. I have been working really hard to buy business one after the other. A year and a half ago, I was able to buy a chain of 12 convenience store from Honey Farms, very local to Worcester. I have millions of dollars of debt. I have 11-year-old. Before we propose something, it really affects the lives. I employ over 30, 40 people. I employ somebody who has 5 kids and supporting alone. It just doesn't make sense. And it's not just about cigarette or anything. You take out any 1 or 2 categories out of these small businesses, they're going to go out of business. You take out lottery, we are out of business. You take out tobacco, we are out of business. You take out sodas, we are out of business.
Have you thought about opening a
It's
gas
not like-
station?
yeah, just tobacco. We only
I know a
make profit
place.
on the top 10% of our sale. You take
Tobacco
out
soda,
20,
guys. We're
20,
sitting on a gold mine.
I don't even do. Next thing we are going to go out of sugar. Probably
Take
because that
away
causes a lot of health
leftover
issues.
Beanie Babies.
We have to educate people.
Take
And I
away
understand it's a real problem. But
single
we have to
apples.
educate. There is choice. People have choices. And we make decisions based on what was legal, what is legal. Who's going to pay millions of dollars? I have 11-year-old who I cannot even explain. So I
You can't
really
explain your
appreciate
11-year-old?
you think really hard about
Preteen.
the real impacts on real
Probably
people life
probably
and
wants to
people
smoke
who are
cigarettes.
Sounds stressful.
I'm
Have
not
you asked him if he
sophisticated
wanted to
as
smoke?
anybody else. I'm just speaking from my heart. So I do hope you all consider this, and I hope my attorneys and other group members are also going to.
You know how much fucking salvia we're gonna have to sell if you guys ban cigarettes.
Thank you.
You don't want that. Think of the ethical ramifications.
Another gentleman here. Just your name, so your residence.
My name is Tarak Patel. I'm from Worcester. Good evening, Mayor and Council members. The reason we gathered today is something
This is
not
awesome.
only
All Louis
affects the
Ojeda's order
community
is going to accomplish is bringing
and the
down
small
the convenience
businesses,
store.
but if you look at the numbers, that there's
Making
230
cigarettes cool again.
Worcester City. If you take this action, if
Do,
you bring
do
that
people
90
smoke that
in,
much that
that
like
licenses are useless? So
what?
it's
I
a
don't
loss
give a
of the
shit.
city
Ban
for
whatever
a
you
loss
want.
of the city as well
But
as the tax collection
is
from
this
the
is this
state.
enough of an issue that we need to?
Cigarette provides almost $4.51.
I will say, as a smoker, I do keep like a pulse as to who else are like me, because usually we're the ones that are like banned out to Siberia every time in the winter. And I have been noticing that there are more people smoking in their cars. I feel like it's on the rise again.
I guess it is a little bit.
Working in one store, there will be like almost 400 people.
Yeah, because we're in like a very who cares moment in
and plus their
history.
families.
It's like,
So my
what are
humble
you
request
not
to the
smoking
mayor
cigarettes for?
and the council
Oh, what am I
members
gonna do? Live till I'm
not to pass
75? Fuck
you.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah, existence is pain. Give me my nicotine.
How can I? I can't even afford. I can't afford to live that long.
I think the
You know what I
attorney
can't
that
afford?
was
A house. You know what I
mentioned
can't
earlier
afford?
is online.
Pack
I'm
of
trying
puffs.
to-
Right?
Pack of yellow American spirits.
I mean, real talk, I roll my own because they're so damn expensive.
Just your name and say your residence.
Do you have that little
Put a
machine?
city council order on about that.
I got an
Yes, we
automatic
can.
one.
That's sad.
Hi, sorry. My name is Yael Megan, and I represent business owners in the city of Worcester. I'm an attorney. As you've heard, there are more than 235 licenses to sell tobacco and nicotine in your town. Eliminating the purchase
city,
of
lady.
cigarettes or nicotine products in your town will not reduce
Our
the
town?
sale of nicotine and tobacco
Get her
products
outta
for
here.
your citizens, but it will only harm and hurt local businesses
Wow.
owners as well as the budget of the city.
That's got to smell
If business
awful.
owners
You should
will
have had
not
him
be
sign
allowed
it.
to sell nicotine or tobacco within your city, it will cause a hardship and unfair business practices for the local smoke shops.
You want to call
and
this
businesses that
you
sell
want to call Worcester a
nicotine,
town?
and it
Guess
will
what? Cigarettes banned.
hundreds of businesses out of business and
Guess
will
what?
reduce
Little
more than
fake honey
probably
farms
200 employment
banned.
opportunities
You
in
know
your
what?
city.
If they
The
ban
only thing
cigarettes,
that will
I'm
happen
balkanizing
is it will
Worcester.
not
More
reduce the
towns than
number
it should
of
be.
residents that will actually purchase nicotine
Downtown
products
is
or
a no
tobacco,
man's zone.
but these residents will have
We
to
have more
travel
left
out
in
of the
South
city of Worcester and will go
Break
to
it up into
neighboring towns and
Stir
cities
in the
in order to
Worst
purchase
Republic.
those products.
She also can't
That
pronounce the
means
city's name.
that
She just
those
called it
adults
Worcester.
will use their
So
money
sad.
in
Yeah,
other
West
towns
Shrewsbury,
and other
East
cities.
Leicester, South
This will
Holden,
actually
North
reduce
Grafton.
the taxes
Done.
and the budget of the city of
Are they
Worcester.
are they
If you have
keeping
now
businesses
dozens
open
or
in Florida?
hundreds of businesses going
Good
out
Lord.
of business, and hundreds
It's
of
literally
people unemployed,
it's an
it will
impossible
only harm
hurricane.
the city
It's going to be an
financially
F6 or like a
in a
category
very
6.
difficult way.
Yeah, it's back up to a 5
Also, what it will
from
do,
the radio
it
that I
will
heard
actually
about an hour ago.
increase counterfeit products and criminal activity so people can purchase.
I bought counterfeit cigarettes at the counterfeit honey farms.
That is what we see in other towns. That is eliminating
Bubblegum
the sale
again.
of
Should've
nicotine
gone to
and
Yetco.
tobacco products within a town does not necessarily reduce the number of consumption of nicotine and tobacco in the town, but actually increases counterfeit products and criminal activity only to purchase a cigarette or some kind of other nicotine
Camber,
product.
there's still
Also, what's
research I'm
going to
reading
happen
about the connection
is it is
between
going
smoking
to,
cannabis and the lower
it's going to take the
infection
freedom
rates
of
and lower
choice
intubation rates
from the
of COVID
adults
patients that
who
I still
do wish
find
to purchase
absolutely
the
fascinating.
products of nicotine and tobacco in your
heard about
town,
that.
and basically you're eliminating their freedom of choice.
The-
Lady still
and
talking?
also you're going to
Yeah,
cause
they haven't wrapped her
hardship
up because she's an
on
attorney.
adults
Oh, there she is.
that do want to that
Can you
do
wrap
not
up your
have.
comments?
Excuse me.
Can you wrap up your comment?
Yes, I am done. Just two more sentences. It will cause hardship on adults
That's
that
not
do not
done.
have a car or any type
They're
of.
the longest sentences you've ever heard in your life.
We ask it further, and I'm
Aha, I'm using commas. Ha ha ha.
nicotine products are
Can't cut me
extremely
off. There's
regulated
a lot
by
of
the
commas,
FDA
no
and the
periods.
state and the Board of Health. and there is no need to completely
That's cold,
eliminate
yeah.
the sale of those products. We
Thank
ask to please either table or vote no on item number 90. Thank you.
Thank you.
She got the same literature that fucking Bruce Hoffner did. And Ted
We
Costas.
have one more person online.
Mayor, we've got someone who's called in. The last 4 digits are 9986, and we're trying to mute them now.
Is your
Good
name?
evening, City Council.
Yes, your name
My name is Adrian Falco. I'm a business owner in Worcester District 5.
Adrian
This is in
Falco?
opposition to today's agenda order 9D. I feel like this is complete infringement on personal freedom. Individuals should have their own choice if they want to use nicotine. Some are using nicotine gums, electronic nicotine devices to curb their habit or to quit
Yeah, I
altogether.
believe this same
The impact this
thing.
would have on over
but
2 dozen small
for
businesses within the
I
city
think
would be
that
substantial.
should be
Many would
everyone's
close
choice.
immediately, as most small mom and
In
pop
the
rely on
convenience
these for more than
stores,
half
no
of the
prescription.
It would also increase the black market for nicotine products, as some people would just drive over to the next city or town and sell the now illicit products within the city.
Whoa.
Historical evidence has shown
Teach
how
people
red
to buy
bans do
it
not
at
effectively
McDonald's
work for reducing nicotine
and
use,
Dunkin'
as people
Donuts.
just seek out the banned products. I believe focusing more on health education over
No,
prohibition.
to be clear, this isn't about
Focus
banning
more on
cigarettes
public
within
health
Worcester.
campaigns
This
to
is just
reduce
about
nicotine
prohibiting the
use over an
sale.
outright ban.
Correct.
This can empower individuals to make their own informed decisions.
That would be
Banning
so
nicotine
funny if you
sales
asked
in
the
the city is
Worcester
outright
Police to
wrong.
enforce
It will
smoking
cripple
laws.
small business and force them out of the city. along
Talking
with
about
turning
blue
law-abiding
flu.
citizens
Oh my
and
God.
making into outright criminals. I encourage the city council to really think about the ripple effects this will have for the city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now do cocaine.
We also have
Yeah.
online.
Put cocaine
Hi,
back
you're
in the
still speaking
sodas.
on 90.
We're speaking. You can speak on anything you want. You only can speak. You only can speak once, though. So you have. If you speak on your item, on the petition,
please
or
take
you can
2
speak on
minutes.
other items if you want.
Yes, I will speak on my petition. I just want to be clear. Is it 2 minutes or 3 minutes?
It's 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to read you the petition I sent in because I noticed that it was too lengthy for them to
better get through. You only
put
got
the
3 minutes.
description there. So I wrote that this was in reference to 7V, which is my petition. Since it is not within the purview of the city clerk's office, what is the process for resident petitions that are referred to the city manager from the city council, i.e., are they sent directly to him or another member who forwards them to him? Does anyone follow up with the petitioner for clarification if needed? How long should it take or typically remain within his office for consideration? Is there a timeline for him to respond? Is he required to provide communication back to city council? Does a member of his administration notify the petitioner of his approval or denial? How can the petitioner or
I
general
lost track of what
public
this person's
track
talking about.
petitions once they've been sent to
Same.
the city
Something to do with the
manager,
city
etc.?
manager.
Cool.
I ask that the city council request the city manager and his administration the following. Number 1, ask the listed questions above and any the city council deem prudent to the matter. Number 2, request the city manager designate a member of his administration to provide an update on the petition to the petitioner or their designee. Number 3, request the creation of a transparent process for petitions once they are referenced to the city manager and the administration,
I'm lost in
such
sauce.
as
What's the like
those
about this
to
item?
the city council outlined
Or
in
what
the
is this
manual of the city council
I'm not
of
listening.
the city of Worcester, 2024 to 2025. Number 4, request their petitions.
So
be
tonight, when we
updated
start
in
talking
the
gas stations,
Laser Fitch
is Mo going to say that telling somebody what they can
reflect
or
the
can't
city
do with
manager's
their land
decision,
communism
such
or
as done
socialism?
with the city council committees.
Maybe a bit of
Number
both.
5, request a report on all resident petitions referred to the city manager within the last X time frame that's to be decided by the city council, including their current status and any resolutions by the next joint city council and city manager meeting. The petitioners and the public would welcome any additional oral feedback from the city
The thing
manager
that I've been waiting for
at the
somebody to
joint meeting.
update research on
Tonight, if he
cigarettes
has anything to
is,
say, that's great too. And
I think
filing
it's
number
why
6
I always kind of like
requests a
lean. I
quarterly
kind of wish
report
like the
of
state would
resident
like ban
petitions
cigarettes.
referred to the
Like, I
city
smoked
manager
for, like,
with their
fucking long,
status
and it
and
still lungs are
resolutions
still
until
fresh from it.
transparent
But like when I started
process is
smoking, there was a
created,
direct
implemented, and
correlation
available to
between
the public.
education and smoking.
And I
Like
put in that
the only
petition
people who
because
smoked
I have
were like
had a
uneducated,
petition
with this really
forwarded
weird
to
carve
him,
out
and I
for
have
like
never
highly
received
intelligent
any
people.
communication back.
Like doctors
As
tend
I
to just
have been
smoke,
looking through
like
other
medical
petitions
students
and
tend to
seeing
smoke,
that they
but
have also gone
like
to
it lined
him,
up with
and
their
we've
also
never heard
recreational
anything
use
back
of like
from him
Adderall and cocaine and
or his
whatnot. It was
administration.
like within creative
Thank you.
classes, you had people
Thank
who
you.
were like really high functioning,
Okay, we're gonna
very
close this
intelligent,
part of the
also tended to
meeting. Is
smoke.
everybody all
But if you,
set?
those are always really tiny universes.
speakers?
Like it was 99% of the people who smoked. It was low education attainment and like almost like
Petitions to the
social failure
neighborhood
to
for the
thrive.
Public Works. Those in
And that
favor
was
of
just getting worse and
order,
worse through the
17,
90s
7F for the
when our
first reading.
rates of smoking were plummeting.
Favor, opposed,
But like
so
once
ordered.
vapes came onto the market, I feel like that changed everything. It was
In favor, opposed, so
like
ordered.
now it's too easy. Like smoking doesn't have nicotine didn't have the same sort of hook on it. But cigarettes really are the best fucking way to take in nicotine.
7L.
Once you fucking get hooked on vapes or whatever else, it's like at some point in time, you just realize cigarettes are fucking awesome. I feel like that whole correlation or connection to education has gone out the window.
That I request the
Me being an
line
intellectual,
painting at the
I realize
on
that
Lincoln Street in the vicinity of St.
if I moved to vape, I just smoked a vape a lot, so I kept smoking cigarettes.
The thing that was wild though is like through the 90s, it was like once in again, like I started smoking before like there was labels on cigarettes, right? Like we were still pretending they were healthy when I started at 12.
Wow, your T-zone.
We'll take 7G.
But it's
as amended.
It was crazy when you watched that, like throughout the 90s and early aughts, as like
Set a
rates
hearing,
of smoking
7R
in the United
to
States plummeted
Set a hearing for October
throughout
15th,
Europe,
2024.
and then
Those in favor,
other
opposed,
parts
so
of the world that were economically less developed. It was skyrocketing this because all the Philip Morris budgeting dollars pivoted to other parts of the world,
Elementary school.
which is where the education thing came into. At the end, it was just like the only people still smoking were folks that couldn't see through the marketing efforts of large tobacco firms.
So I think we can follow this. Councilor King.
Mr. Chairman, I know that there has been some conversation, I think, between Mr. Coughlin and members of various elected officials of both bodies. I would support the idea of sending this over. I know that there is a process that's ongoing. I know there's been multiple changes in that process. I have not spoken to the Price family in regards to school naming in quite some time. So I would hate to say no if in fact that conversation has occurred, Mr. Chairman. I know there's a vote on Thursday. You know better than us, what that entails, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Sally. It was like all of my friends smoked. We were idiots.
Sending it
And
over
I
doesn't
just like I
require
assumed that we were the
school
last
committee to act
generation
on
of
it.
people who were actually going to be smoking. But to Travis's point earlier, every time I'm in traffic now, especially on the motorcycle, I
on
feel
this-
surrounded by
the
people smoking butts.
Committee agenda, right?
In cars.
He already, James has already filed an item on the school committee for Thursday night also.
Okay, so we just filed it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I just want to state publicly, I do support that consideration, Mr. Chairman. So I'm not sure I'm going to vote on the file, but I do
We'll send
support
it,
it.
we'll send it to school committee. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Now we get, now again, request the city council, request the city manager review the attached documentation, questions and processes associated with petitions referred to the city manager. We can send it to MO. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. We have 8A to 8L, motion is to adopt.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to pull out 8F and G, please.
8F and G?
Yes.
So take 8A to 8L minus F and G. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. And we are on 8F and 8G. Oh, okay. Councilor Pacilla.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to explain the cameras on Newton Hill really quick because I can see that it was kind of confusing. So over the summer, residents in that neighborhood have been having a lot of ongoing issues with kids up in the woods, littering and noise violations and just being disruptive. So basically at parks, we were talking about ways to help maintain all the work that the residents and friends of Newton Hill do up there on their trails and making it a really great green space for everyone. So
Except
cameras were
kids who
some of
want
the
to use it
ideas,
for fun.
grant funding. If you look down at 8L, we also, requested reaching out to school committee and the superintendent. So the cameras were a part of ideas for a solution. They weren't for anything in particular, just to maintain that area, keep it clean, and make sure everyone's being respectful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we get access to the cameras so we know when the kids are partying so we don't waste a trip?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On the face of it,
I want to go and
certainly have some
party with them,
concerns
but I
about
just
those
don't
two
want to keep
items.
wandering the woods until I find them.
And I know that, I don't know exactly what portable wireless
You're
secure
breaking up, Jim.
program is, Mr. Chairman. So to vote for that is a bit difficult. I guess the cost analysis would speak to that. And I know, again, I know that there's other areas of the city that require, an increased attention. And while I understand the district councilor's concerns here, Mr. Chairman, I'm not in a place where I'm willing to vote for enhanced surveillance of our kids. I'm more about, trying to make sure that they have opportunities, recreational opportunities, and that, we're responding with our park staff appropriately to get them engaged, Mr. Chairman. So just wanted to state that for the public, and I'll vote on this. Thank you.
So 8, F, and G, motion to approve.
Will we roll call, Mr. Chairman?
Taken collectively?
Yes.
F and G, roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Caloria?
Yes.
Council Agia? Council King?
Abstain.
What?
Councilmember Carlson?
And no?
Council Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Patillo?
What a weird
Council Russell?
statement to make to then
Council Toomey?
abstain.
Mayor Petty?
Yes. Okay, good there. We have orders. 9A, we're going to hold on to privilege. 9B, request the same notify the council with update concern the status of Verizon installing files in the city. Council Bergman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We're
Not a
cooking.
lot we can all agree on, but I think there's probably unanimity that charter is not our best friend. And FiOS.
God, I hate this fucking
legal
worm,
reasons
dude.
might
I want to
be an
give him a swirly
alternative.
sun.
That's the only alternative.
That little look just sent me over the edge.
I'm just asking where we're at with that, and hopefully we can get a report back. I saw a recent article that's being expanded beyond the last time we got a report on that, but I think it'd be helpful to know.
Can't believe this
how much
motherfucker
of
showed up
this
in
is being
defense of
covered
the
by that.
gas station.
What's the expectation for the rest of the city, if there is one?
I'll get the highest use of the piece of land.
Get a report of how the streets that have been done and how the
Sure.
road repairs have come out.
That'd be a friendly amendment.
Okay.
Thank you.
Taken after Council Russell. Okay. As amended, those in favor, opposed, so ordered. We are on C, request the mayor to provide council a report concerning the city's plans for unsheltering during the winter months. Councilor Ojeda.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, basically as it reads, just, it's that time of the year where we need to start worrying about the winter. And I'm pretty sure we'll do the necessary steps to make sure those that are unsheltered have a safe space that's warm. And obviously, I'm hoping provides food and other resources. So that's it, and I look forward.
Really
to
cool tell for lying there when he adjusted his top button. Did you guys catch that?
No.
Yeah.
I only watched that now.
If I was a poker player, that's how I'd know when he's bluffing. I'm adjusting his top button like this.
Mayor
He's like, and I really hope they have
Mr. Chairman, I thank Council Ojeda for
food.
his order. And this is an issue every year. I know Mr. Manager has been working on this, and hopefully pretty soon we'll have good announcement to make regarding the shelter for the winter months. You look at the unhoused here in the city of Worcester. You can see it everywhere you drive in the city. So it's an issue. It's made of all different groups.
Oh, yeah, it's an issue because you can see it, Joe?
May be the same, but the solutions may be different.
They were kept to themselves, but you cleared their encampments.
Population now, which
What is the issue? That you can see it or that it
you have
exists?
people with substance.
What is the issue?
You have people with new Americans.
Oh my God.
You have chronically homeless.
Like babies?
City of Worcester. And so I just want to see if maybe form a motion. We'll get.
Yeah, I'm formally coming out against homeless babies.
Together, which I know you've been talking to.
Coward.
City of Worcester that cover this on a regular basis. Try to come up with a long-term strategic plan, short-term and long-term, and how to address the.
Bro, the city has a long-term strategic
people
plan.
are good people.
I hate this impulse in the city of Worcester to just say that the solution to everything is to create a plan when there's already been a plan created.
Thank you. So forming the motion. Thank you.
Oh my God.
I don't know. We just keep saying that we should create a plan.
Just keep creating plans.
Well, if you're not interested in a plan, Bill, how about a coalition? Maybe a working group?
Ooh.
Is on this one? Or? Okay,
Yeah.
so all set? Okay, so as amended, we'll send that to the city manager. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. We are on D. Request the city manager provide the council with a feasibility report relative how other communities in Massachusetts have moved towards eliminating the purchase of cigarettes or nicotine products in the municipalities. The report should include data concerning any potential health benefits associated with this decision, best practices used in other communities, and any financial impacts associated with making such a decision. Councilor Ojeda.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah. This is very interesting for me because these are conversations that need to be had, and people are all up in arms now about this. And what concerns me is, I hear, it was mentioned that increase in criminal activity due to not being able to purchase cigarettes is interesting to me because in looking at this and understanding what other towns have done, I think it's important to understand.
This guy's kind of a hothead, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
Some of the facts. Cigarette smoking causes more than 480,000 deaths each year in the United States. This is nearly one-fifth of deaths. More than
Let's
10
not
times
read the
as many US
Wikipedia.
citizens have died prematurely from cigarette smoking and have died in all the,
That's our job.
all
job.
the wars fought by the United States. Globally, tobacco kills more than 8 million people each year. Right? Tobacco use has started and established primarily during adolescence. Nearly 9 out of 10 adults who smoke first try smoking by the age of 18. Almost nobody starts.
9 out of
smoking
10
after
smokers are
mid-20s.
cool.
The tobacco industry has admitted that the base of our business is the high school student. The tobacco industry targets youth and low-income communities as replacement smokers for those who die, get sick, or quit.
And this segment is brought to you by Zip Picks, nicotine toothpicks. Zip more, smoke less.
So, generation laws forbid.
I can't smoke in
sales to
my house,
anyone
but I
born
could just
after a
sit
certain
here and
fixed
gum the
date.
cigarette.
So that doesn't take away someone's opportunity to smoke. So it's a fixed date. So, for instance, if we say 2030, 2040, anyone born from that day on. So it's not taking anyone's right to smoke because they're not even born yet. So let's understand that, right?
How the fuck does that
And
work?
then
What the fuck is he talking about?
I agree. Adults should have the right to smoke and be able to do what they want. It's their body. But at the same time, it's mentioned that we need to educate the youth. How are we educating? How are these businesses? How have they shown?
This guy's a fucking
us
joke.
that
What are you
educating
talking
the
about?
youth
What is your
about
proposal?
The results of
Is it an
smoking?
education
So now we're
campaign?
talking
Are
about
you
we need
actually
to
implying
educate.
that you're going
Well,
to
you knew that
ban
when you were selling these cigarettes.
children,
when you're selling
all
nicotine.
children from
So we're
smoking
standing here
by
acting like we didn't
2030?
know that, but we do know that. But now we say we want to educate. How come we haven't been educating before that?
I mean, that is a good point. That it is funny, like
I don't see
when
education. I
the
see the
retailers
fact that
are
we're dealing
calling
with
for like, well, we just need more
definitely
education. We
dealing
need
with
to
a lot of
educate
vaping
people so that
in
they
our
don't
schools.
smoke. It's
But
like,
we're not
okay, well, if you
educating
believe that, then the
Does
effect
anyone
is
know
the
how we
same
are
on you,
educating in our
is
schools?
that no one buys cigarettes from
Again,
you.
we don't
So
know that either.
I think
Obviously
we
not.
can agree that
So
they're
now we're worried
lying
about
when
the
they say
dollar.
that.
We're worried about health. Where is that? It's not even being seen. It's not shown. Growing up, you saw say no to drugs, stay away from cigarette smoking. I don't see that anywhere.
All that shit failed.
I don't see that anywhere in the
Didn't
city.
work. That's why
I
it's
could
not
be
there
wrong,
anymore.
but I don't see it anywhere in the city.
They're just
So
taught everyone
this
how to use drugs by bringing a
specifically
suitcase
states
full of them
that
around.
Yeah.
towns have moved forward.
The intrigue about
in
drugs,
the
the
purchase
dare
of cigarettes for
instigated me.
So it's a feasibility report.
I got to
to
get in on
understand
this.
How has that happened? What are the best practices and decisions associated to help our communities? Our communities. What communities are we talking about? The Black and brown communities, the communities that are socially, economically disadvantaged. These are the communities that are targeted with this. So these are communities that I drive through, I live with, I grew up with. That's what this is being targeted. And again, I've said this since day one. It's a business. I understand that.
God.
But how are we showing our responsibility as business?
This guy has like a complete absence
say,
of politics.
we're going to sell this, but at the same time, we're going to be responsible.
Doesn't have a
Is
political
any of this money coming back? The money that we make from this, the city makes from this, is any of this money going back into the health department, into the schools to promote?
Yeah.
What happens
Facts,
when you smoke?
Camber.
It's not. So everybody again is up in arms, and I understand, right? But this is a conversation that needs to be had because at the end of the day, people are dying from this, and I'm not pointing anyone out and saying you're the reason why.
But
we need
you
to
are.
have this conversation.
But I'm thinking
Let's
it.
be honest. You know, kids are vaping at a young age. People are getting sick. They're getting sent to the hospital at a very young age, and they don't have a chance. So,
Yeah, they don't have a chance. Everyone's life stops.
I believe it's probably going to be
As
tough
they-
to
as
know
they
how much
take
the
a
city
puff,
does make off of
they don't have
the
a
sales
chance.
or the taxes that come
Why
in.
would you ever leave that town,
Something that,
Yanni?
you know, I would like to probably maybe figure out. You know, at the end of the day, for
Sounds
me,
like
it's
the greatest
about
place on
rules,
earth.
right? These use an
Like cool
opportunity
Riverdale.
to make a decision.
Now I know where to
or
get pick up meth.
Why not even have that opportunity? Just not put it in their face because it's seen every day. It's on the shows. It's everything they see. So for me, it's an opportunity to look into it.
Why is he pretending to be a politician
Things we can
like,
do, and
in this
opportunity
one
for
meeting?
businesses to step up and
He's
say,
been
"Wait a minute,
quiet for so many
what are
months.
we doing?"
Yeah, now he has like
So,
6 orders on, and he's
wake
like
up
he's
call
talking
for
like
me.
a 1980s
I'm a city
like
councilor.
fucking
I live in the city.
like
Obviously born and raised
congressman
here.
about
Those are the
the evils
concerns I
of
have.
cigarettes.
And if I sit back as a city councilor acting like I don't see it, then that's a problem. My mom smoked her whole life. She's 82 years old. She stopped. She had a health scare. She stopped. Thank God. I never wanted to see that. I never
Yeah,
wanted
so
to
this is
live
a
my life
personal
like that.
vendetta.
Try that.
You don't like cigarette
But we're
smoke.
dealing with that now. So let's not put a blind eye to it. You know, I was told, oh, that's going to be more for us to work on, more on my plate. Well,
Who said
why
that?
we're here. We're here to take on those things that we're going to throw on our plate that we may not want to.
No,
It's
the
the
city
reality.
councilor
I have
puts shit on
family
other
members.
people's
We all
plate.
have family members. You probably have someone
City
else
councilors
close
don't
to
do
you
anything.
that are dealing with this type of stuff. So let's not put a blind eye to it. Let's look at it and see how we can move forward.
How do you
Again,
put
it's
a
not to
blind
take
eye to
away,
something?
But it's also to
How do you
understand.
move forward?
Again, the word educate came up a bunch of times. We need to educate. We need to educate. The lawyer said we need to educate. So what are we doing? How come we're not educating them? I bring this
I
forward,
think
now
I
we're
agree
talking
that
about
this
it.
is a good point. I think,
So
but
that's what I have to say, and I'm
Uh,
hoping that we can.
Right, but his order isn't
this
about
and
education.
have these
Right.
conversations.
I'm also,
If it
like I said
goes
before,
to,
I
committee,
don't
goes to committee,
like I don't give a shit if you
guys
want, if
wanna
you
file
think
so be it. But at the end of the
banning
day, the
selling
reality is
cigarettes
we
is the best
need
way
to
to
look into it.
like affect health outcomes, then great. I don't care.
Motion to file.
I'm not against it, but
Okay, Toomey, motion to file, my hero.
yeah.
That would probably be the easiest thing to get through the state legislature, like a mandated
Chairman,
curriculum on tobacco education.
Oh yeah, then they just won't implement it like the firearms
This item,
curriculum.
as a point of discussion here on the council floor, it's very clear where this is coming from and what the attempts are to make us a healthier city, Mr. Chairman. What I will say is a couple of things.
None of them will be brief.
It's a vice, so
I know
clearly
that
Christian's gonna cop
when
to
it
it.
comes to our youth, the issues of vaping, marijuana use.
Listen, I vape all the time. I vape on the floor of this
My
chamber.
experience currently is that nicotine use is less prevalent amongst our youth. However, it's certainly a health issue for us as a community. And I will say that over the years, we've seen, slowly but surely through media, through advertising, through legislations, state, federal, et cetera, we've seen a cessation in terms of the amount of folks who are smoking currently. And I think that was necessary. I remember back in the day, you're at work, they're smoking, right? You're out at a local establishment.
I used to smoke at Tweeds when I worked there.
I started smoking because I was working a shop job and everybody else was going out for smoke breaks. And I'm like, I want a smoke break.
With regards
I used to take cigarette breaks even though I didn't smoke.
I
Good for
this
you.
is
I should've
bullshit.
said that.
People get extra breaks.
Quite some time back after meeting with the civic group over at Forest Grove and a couple other schools regarding vaping in the bathrooms. And we were looking at, I think we sent that.
Can we mandate that 1 out of every 10 weed carts is actually a DMT cart?
Ooh.
But without a label, so it just sneaks up on you.
It's like Willy Wonka's golden ticket.
Their process, and it wasn't feasible for them to do that for one reason or another.
I love the state is about to legalize psychedelics and Worcester's going to ban cigarettes.
In addition to that, Mr. Chair, I want the public.
Dude, I think that's going to fail.
You know, we as a council.
I think it will too. Yeah.
It's so weirdly written and like
regarding
all over the place. I think they really did throw the people for a loop too by not just sticking to mushrooms and including anything that's like a plant-based hallucinogen. But they skipped over LSD and did throw in DMT. It's like, okay, come on. Salvia, I still can't get a cutting, but you're going to let me cook my own DMT?
I told you too. I keep seeing people say that, like, which isn't. It doesn't seem to be in the actual law, but people saying that it's like harmful to indigenous populations and like personal.
To allow you to have peyote and mescaline because they're plant-based, and like I don't know if any. Hypothetically, if you ever tried to grow peyote on your own, you can get a hold of seeds online, but it takes forever to grow. I may have hypothetically known somebody who tried growing it and realized that it was going to be like 20 years before a button was even fucking usable. So like, okay, this is no longer a fun project. But the idea that like once stuff is decriminalized, it doesn't really matter where it comes from. So you'll have a whole market opened up for people pilfering in the Southwest, where you still have peyote buttons growing naturally to ship up to Massachusetts, where
Counselor, from my
it'll
understanding
technically
right
be
now, I don't
sellable.
believe we have any current
Right, but what I was seeing, which I agree with, actually agree with that.
but that's something that,
But
again,
what I
we
was
can
seeing was people saying that it was like it was going to ban
either
like
ongoing in the regional area or
like religious use, like or religious like practitioners from having it, and only like basically only have like dispensaries are able to like sell them. Which I did not see that in the law at all. I just seen a few people post it, and
And that's a federal carve out, so I don't see how that. I think supremacy clause would still override that.
Vaping curriculum that was provided.
I think all drugs should be illegal
here in the city.
Like all of them.
You know, moving forward.
And we just have a lot less
Second
cops.
motion, Mr. Chairman. You know, for me, with regards to
ayahuasca is the
this
one
item,
that I want to try, but I want to do
feels
it
a bit,
properly.
That's what
Dude,
DMT is, right?
Every place is every place is a fucking scam now though too. Like there's a couple places in New Hampshire that I've heard horror stories about that are they're kind of frame themselves like
I think we've come a long way, Mr.
what you'd find if you went to South America for either an ibogaine or an ayahuasca weekend retreat, and they're just total grifter scumbag hippies that are running these places. The same seems to have happened all throughout South America as well too, where if you're not careful, like you're going to stumble into a place that
confusion
they're
about
dime store shamans,
perhaps in the future. there's something
like your buddy who got certified as a minister to do your wedding. Like you probably don't want to see him for religious counseling.
You can get an ayahuasca license online these days. All right, I'll get googling.
You know, we've heard.
Yeah, system. I'm a shrooms fan too. That's really what I want.
This is a bit.
I have
a
DMT
bit,
in the apartment.
Too much for me at this time.
I'm not.
All right, let's do it on the stream.
Okay, so we have a motion.
I do think that salvia would be the one to do on the stream, where again, like I think I've mentioned this before. You get like a 5 to 15 minute blast off.
Yes.
You can just watch them. We can watch us take turns just completely dorking out and leaving space time, and then just talk about it when the meeting gets boring.
Russell?
Yeah, great.
Toomey?
Yes.
Mayor Petty?
Yes. Okay, next item up. Request City Council in accordance with the City Council Rule 52, discharge from the Standing Committee on Public Works, again referred to said committee on April 25th.
Like that just got filed.
That needs as follows.
Ayahuasca and ibogaine.
Amy
Full,
Flores requests Bennett Street or Oriad Place be given the honorary street name, title.
It is crazy to sell salvia
Flores Way.
next to the
Flores
K2.
Way, I'm sorry.
The salvia is legit.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I think I've
actually,
told
like
this story
to,
before, but I got a hold of a cutting a long time ago. This is 2 dogs back because the dog's relevant to the story. But this plant was flourishing in my home office area. Lots of sun, kept the humidity up and whatnot. I was so
change the
proud of this
location
because those are not easy
of the
plants to
primary
fucking
name
grow at all.
designation.
I came home one day and it was just a green
That
stick.
benefits
And, like the dog was just sitting in the
No.
corner.
That's the
Like
one.
to this day, I mean, I never figured out whether or not the dog ate every leaf on it, and I have no idea. Like, I never really bothered to figure out if that's something that could even metabolize in a dog system. But I like to think that that dog had the most incredible afternoon imaginable and just kept going back for more till it was gone.
It was
through the chair
salvia.
to the council.
Yeah.
So basically,
Don't you?
can,
So
you can
you
file
can't use a
the
regular lighter for
official
salvia. You
item.
have to like
You can make a
put
recommendation
it
to
past the
committee,
burn
which
point
you can
for it to
refer
react. I'm
committee
curious if
tonight.
it could be metabolized.
So,
By
traditionally,
name,
it's food.
the location of where the
Oh, really?
Traditionally, you take the leaves and you like make a
on
plug out of
Google,
it
as
and you
long as-
actually
as
chew
well
on
as
it.
any
And you just
attachments
allow
provided
the juices that come out as you chew it up, and whatever metabolism process that takes place in your mouth
How would people know
will break down
when I'm probably present here?
some of the
about that when it goes to committee?
Mine's went blank. I apologize, but yeah, it was just, so yeah, you'd be taking it in orally, not really
certainly can
swallowing
make
it too.
a-
It would be like almost
you know, request to
sublingual,
the clerk's
just letting the
office to
juices kind of float
notify.
around your mouth.
Usually our
But yes, if you really want to blast off,
There's a
it's
non-issue petition. The residents
yeah, it's smoking
who either file it or who are
either
involved
distillate
in the
or
process get
crystals that are
notified.
usually pulled off of or cooked out of the leaves themselves.
Correct. Right. So basically, what the recommendation should be is we'll accept the amendment if it.
Yeah, it's always good for our.
You'll go to Public Works Committee.
You can rest
When
easy.
the chairman of the Public Works Committee decides to hear this item, we'll take both the original item as well as the item that is referred tonight for a discussion, and then the residents of Hoffman and Maine will be notified, as well as the petitioners in question.
No, I just want to make sure that the residents that are here, they understand the process.
Just watch the calories, Gio.
Council King.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Weed
just
is the
wanna
craziest
reiterate
drug in
publicly
street
that
drugs.
support, This
Weed is worse than heroin.
honorary street name, Bryan May Flores.
How you figure?
And
Weed
I
is
know I've
crazy.
had conversations with the chair of this particular committee.
How do you
hopefully
figure?
This moves forward.
I'm not going to explain it.
You know,
Fair
as soon
enough.
as possible.
We'll agree
I
to
know that
disagree.
There's a number of things. I know we're waiting on policy and what have you.
Am I correct in that? Because I actually don't go to a lot of gas station convenience stores. Is flavored nitrous oxide the thing now?
Gets completed, that should not
Like
be.
flavor
retroactive.
whippets?
Yeah, exactly. Like
What
you're
I've
getting-
seen,
Folks who've been
sorry,
awarded,
didn't mean to talk over you. What I've seen
you
is
know, namings,
whipped cream
street signs,
that has been
streets,
flavored
what
or
have you.
alcoholic whipped cream that is
And it should not
basically
be
just being
retroactively
sold as
applied, Mr.
whippets, where
Chairman.
the users don't get
In
to the
addition
cream.
that, as you can see,
They
there's
just
a
get
number
the
of
flavor
attachments
blast
to
off
this
the top.
particular item with a number
Galaxy
of folks
gas.
advocating for all of the philanthropy and good work and good deeds that Mr. Flores has done throughout our community, Mr. Chairman.
I was in high school. There used to be electors at the Greendale Mall. Like that was like an old retail cooking supply place. And we would go in they didn't have an age restriction on nitrous oxide. So like we would go in every weekend and just clear out all the little whipped cream canisters from them. It took years before they caught on to like every Friday there was this group of kids coming in, walking out with cases
I
of
encourage the committee to
probably the only
Thank you, Mr.
people ever
Chairman.
bought any there though.
Thank you. So
That's why they sold it.
file and to send the recommendation.
Oh, Worcester and
name
Tiva
change
corrected me.
to
It's not even the
Hawthorne.
whipped cream. It's just the
Those in
gas for the
favor?
whipped cream.
Right. It's yeah.
Okay, next
You
item,
can buy those at the
City
Price
Manager,
Chopper on
Customers
Park
for
Ave.
Transportation Mobility
Yeah, no,
Department.
they're I mean the little
Okay.
containers
I
are
just bought a
everywhere.
box of
Say
100
that
one time.
Reviews how
Went to
traffic
that shit
flow on
one night.
multiple streets in the Green Island neighborhood impact residents and business safety, including Canton Street, Ellsworth Street, Endicott Street, Harding Street, Jackson Street, Lafayette Street, Lamartine Street, Millbury Street, Seymour Street, Seagull Street, Washington Street. Further request the city manager work to ensure developers purchasing property in the city develop their properties in a way that does not negatively impact parking situations in the city neighborhoods. Councilor Ojeda.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think.
Guys, the Louis Ojeda show.
Right.
Something must have.
Somebody
pissed
must have
him
told him that, yeah, like no one knows what you're about. You gotta make your
You
mark.
want to amend Jackson out of the order, Council?
So he's like, I'll tell you exactly what I'm about, and he's making it way more confusing
Just to
than
be
it was
brief,
previously.
as you know, I mentioned many times that there's a lot going on in that area, especially with new development. So
Yeah,
just
I had
wanna
a
make
friend that
sure
worked at Dunkin' Donuts, and on his lunch break, he went down to the basement and emptied a case of whipped cream, and the district manager just happened to come walking in at the same time. And as he was sitting there with whipped cream going down the front of his shirt, the only thing he could muster to say was, "It's not what it looks like."
better with the community, the neighborhood, but at the same time.
That's like a Simon Hanselman cartoon.
We made our own whipped cream at Woobury, and that was like my constant battle there was like Like, I don't care what you're doing. I would be doing the same thing if I didn't have to run a fucking business, but I can't be running out of whipped cream. We can't not have
There's an
whipped
ice
cream
cream
on a
shop.
fucking Saturday night because everybody's in the kitchen fucking getting dusted on nitrous.
Yeah. Yeah. When I worked at Starbucks, there would always be some point at which you came in and somebody's side work hadn't been done the night before and all the whipped cream containers were gone. The launchers.
Mr. Chairman,
So sick.
prior to doing so, that item should go to ED, no? The previous audit.
Is that Health and Human Services and ED, right? Yeah. No. Oh, the previous order. I'm sorry.
The previous audit should go to ED.
Yeah. All those in favor. Okay, I missed that one up. Okay. Send that to ED. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered.
All right, thank you, Mr. Manager. Yeah, so 9G, this somewhat ties into.
No one's even like saying anything about any of these.
More educating our youth, understanding there's a lot of information that we have as a city, a lot of information that it's just not as
Bro, you don't know any.
really accessible as some kid that wants to be on Instagram who flips through Instagram all day long. This is a great opportunity.
This guy just got mad at his kids. He's just like, yeah, I found my kid. He was on Instagram. He was smoking butts. He was.
That's it. I'm banning all this stuff.
Yeah, my kid was on Instagram. He was smoking butts. He was on Benefit Street in Oriad Place, trying to give an honorary street name Jamie Flores Way. He was,
the health department
developing properties in a way that doesn't negatively impact situations in the city's neighborhoods.
Advisory, I should say.
I was trying to make it all.
Really about getting this
This is the one where they want to start an Instagram account for healthy, like there isn't already 60,000 Instagram accounts that'll tell you all about being healthy.
In healthy environments and being safe on a daily basis. I think once, if we can establish some type of Instagram that allows our kids to get it within their algorithms, they will always see.
If we establish some type of Instagram that allows our kids to get it through their algorithms, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Who are part of, making.
He has no idea.
A better place. So I really look forward to making this happen and see.
The first time I ever ran the Keno machine at Tweeds, I got to do it because the guy that usually works Saturday nights just got shit faced during his shift for some reason. Like, could never figure it out. He was just like, "Yep, here we go. Tonight's the night," and just started sneaking drinks. And he fell out of the stool, and they had to send him home.
Yeah.
And I got to do Keno for 10 years.
Next one, request the senior provide council with an update relative to the
Yeah, that Instagram order was way worse.
Chief of Police, Deputy Chief of Police in the city of Worcester from the Civil Service Law.
Isn't he actually a vice principal?
He's definitely an educator. Oh, we're telling old work stories. I worked in a printing shop where we made billboards, and I worked for a guy that every other payday he would go out and buy cocaine at lunch. So we called it Yay Day, and he would come back and sew banners and just have streams of snot rolling down his nose all over these billboards. And I would have to strategically put my hands around it because I'd have to work with him.
Recommendation that we should do this.
We got a lot of work done on Fridays, though. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I think we should still.
Enough so that all the managers and owners turned a blind eye because they were okay with it because our numbers always caught up on every other Friday.
Yeah, bottom dollar, baby.
Because the state's doing this whole analysis on civil service itself, and which is delayed. But I did notice that a lot of times what I do notice that they're passing when you do the chief, maybe some of the separate petitions that they pass this. So, Mr. Manager, my request to you is maybe make contact with the state and see what the amendment process would be if we need to amend this. So would it be that maybe coming next week, if you make contact,
business drunk,
that we have a petition for the chief of police by itself and the deputies by itself, and we can resend those. If that's once you make contact with the state and see if that's the most, I don't know what the appropriate way to amend this is, I don't know if it's the most appropriate way to amend this is to have the state delegation amend it, or we amend it. So maybe over the next week, if you can amend it, then maybe we should put something on the calendar. So, because I just noticed when I look at what's being passed, a lot of seasoned towns are being passed with the chief being separated out by itself. And I think we should at least try to continue this, because I think the council did vote 11-0 and thought they thought this is, we think as a body, this is important. I think the city manager made the recommendation, and we supported that recommendation. So if there's a way that we can address this with the state delegation, with the state legislature, that we just, if we need to separate these processes out, we should try to do that, then if that's the right answer. Thank you.
Manager Batista? No? Candy Carlson, District 2.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I just rise obviously to support this as well, but would really like to know what the timeline on this is, because as you said, Mr. Chairman, this was 11-0 vote on this.
It's time to take
particular
personal
item.
responsibility
We
for
spent
drivers running over
a
you.
tremendous amount of time with this really in limbo, and there was no action taken, unfortunately.
And I am certainly not asking this question for my good friend.
I think
Anthony
that
Petroni.
Mr. Chairman, you said all this about what is the timeline and do we have to separate this out? But again, the question is, what is the timeline, even separating them out? And if we do separate them out, does that mean that both of them can go at the same time, even though they are separate? How does this work? And I guess I'm having a little bit
How
of
do
a hard
magnets
time
work?
understanding this, because this has been done.
No
in other
motherfuckers lying and making me pissed.
something
Candy's the
that
juggalo.
we've talked about doing, and how long does our current acting chief have to remain acting before we can actually hire him as our permanent chief? So thank you, Mr. Chairman, for this order. I'm hopeful that we are able to get this done fairly soon.
Thank you. Councilor Toomey?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I rise as Chair of Public Safety, and I will tell you that I concur with you and Councilor Carlson, but I think it's incredibly important to note that it has been over a year, I believe it was Labor Day, since the acting chief position has been filled. And I think it's very important that we move for the benefit of the department to have some stability in that position, and also to be able to move forward with the recommendations from the equity report as well. And I think it's important that we move on this and that we find a solution quickly. And no matter what happens, we've got to move forward. I appreciate.
Got to move forward. Everyone knows what move forward means in this instance.
Yeah, come up with a plan.
We can resolve.
Everyone knows what that means.
As I said, the morale of the department needs to be maintained. Thank you.
The morale.
Thank you.
Yeah, the guys, the fellas are so down because they're
Also, his job title is leaving our cops depressed.
I was just asked for a timeline. What is the timeline to get this process in place?
Okay.
He's still getting paid more than Sergeant
Council
was.
City of Worcester hereby support Bill House
I don't see what
2963 and act relative to payments in lieu of taxation by organizations exempt from the property tax. Council Burton.
Mr. Chairman, before I speak on that item, did you also hold 9J? I thought you were holding Council Hoxha's orders only.
Hi, GI. How fucking hard is it?
Yeah, we held the H. No, that was my item.
Yeah, that's your item.
Yeah, I held that under privilege. Yeah.
9J on my sheet.
HIJ, correct?
I held that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. On my thing, I just want a clarification. So my item, so we have been talking about colleges, universities, and large players in the city that have not been required to pay taxes. And the example with WPI taking two taxable properties off the tax roll certainly hit a raw nerve given the number of dollars involved. They certainly didn't do anything illegal. They took advantage of what the current law is, and one can argue one way or the other whether or not that's being a good neighbor, but it's not necessarily illegal. So at the end of the day, our options are limited unless the law changes. And one of the possibilities of the law changing is what's before the State House. Now, I had heard an argument made by a member of the public regarding what happens to conservation-related properties. And you know, if I had
you
to
heard
read
that?
the text of the proposed legislation, I would say that's a perfectly good argument and a concerning one, because we certainly don't want to make entities that aren't generating income be responsible for property tax. That would not be in the best interest of anybody. But the last section of the proposed legislation reads as follows. Any city or town that accepts this section shall adopt an ordinance or bylaw to provide for agreements between the municipality and organizations that may provide for exemptions from payment in consideration of community benefits as payments and the administration of payments. So if you're providing community benefits, any city or town can exempt any properties. So we do have a $15 million threshold of property values as a part of the proposed legislation. There certainly could be tweaks made. I'm not in the state level, but I understand enough about the process that the legislation will go between the Senate and the House, and there could be amendments made.
Don't worry about it. You never will.
Could address other issues that may come up that could have unintended consequences. But let me be clear that that last section protects organizations that the municipality decides are acting in the best interest of the community that may not be in a position to pay taxes. But let's look at the positive of what would happen if the legislation went through. Just taking WPI, just that institution alone. And I don't want to separate that out from the others, but I happen to have had the information on WPI as a result of the conversation we've had over the last 2 months. The value of property WPI has is in the vicinity of $550 million, $500 million. If you apply our $13.75% residential tax rate just to the property WPI owns, assuming all their property is taxed at the residential level, which they may be charged or taxed at the commercial level, which would mean even more tax revenue. But assume all their property is taxed at the residential level. It's almost $7 million from that one institution that we're losing out on. And I say we're losing out on because there's a lot of opportunities out there for that money to be spent. We know what the needs are in the community. We're here every week, whether it's a school department, whether it's small business,
cigarettes.
whether it's taxpayers.
Yeah,
now
do
nonprofits.
churches.
There are a lot
Do
of
churches and
needs out there.
synagogues.
So I hope we can encourage our state legislators through this resolution to push forward, tweak the language. as
Yanni,
they
do you know
must,
what time they're saying
at the end of the
the
day,
hurricane's
give
going to
us
make
a tool
landfall?
where the larger institutions that are gaining revenue that are not exempt under this ordinance can contribute to the tax base. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
It's not an ordinance, Doc.
Council King.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is certainly a good and proper resolution, Mr. Chairman. But I do have some questions regarding the resolution that I need to answer on my own. I filed a resolution on this exact bill along with the Senate bill that's partnered with it. Sponsor of this bill is Erica Uderhaven out of Somerville.
Yeah, I originally thought it was tonight at 2 a.m. or when Tuesday into Wednesday, but then I was thinking that didn't really make any sense
on the Senate side
based on the maps.
And we actually did a resolution just around this time last year, and we sent it out to our state delegation. We sent it out to the appropriate committees. In this particular legislation, I've been working with a statewide pilot group that extends from many municipalities and towns across the state. And, again, it's been back and forth. We have till December 31st. It's still alive to deal with this. So this is a good and proper order, Mr. Chairman. I agree wholeheartedly with what
it's clickety-clackety.
was discussing.
It's both.
Relative to us missing out. We are missing out, Mr. Chairman. This is about everybody doing their fair share. Just so the public knows, this is about exercising a local option. That's what this bill would do. This particular bill would allow cities and towns to do exactly what the councilor stated. You could exempt some folks, $15 million or more. We're taxing them, or they're agreeing to 25% or so, and you can actually set the
Wow.
threshold.
And slower is worse, right? For
You know,
power
I
purposes.
would imagine the will of this body, Mr. Chairman, and
Especially out over
that
the ocean.
certainly makes sense.
Yeah, collecting more water.
You know, and I again, I'm just going to hold this for a week so I can add and have a little more communication regarding the Senate aspect of this with Senator Gomez. I haven't talked to him in a couple of
Perfect
weeks.
time for
And I know when I brought this forward,
Cuba to reclaim Miami.
that I brought forward
Because all of Florida is
to
going
a
to be
year
under
ago, the order that I talked about again and again on this floor around creating a task force to have oversight and communication with our colleges, Mr. Chairman.
I think Cuba should
certainly
invade the
going
United
to
States.
that I've attempted to meet with some of these.
I think that
presidents,
the United States
who have
needs
been
to be
appointed,
invaded in a serious way.
to have an open discussion,
or else we're just going to keep going on like
where
this.
we're moving as a city, Mr. Chairman.
Cuba is working with the
appreciate
Democrats to
leadership
control the
here.
weather to take back Florida.
You know, and I'm going to hold it for a week.
Plausible,
So I expect that this will pass.
It's ignorant to think that they can't control the
It's
weather.
a good and proper resolution. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. So this is held under privilege. Everybody else all set? No more comments? Okay. Item 10B.
Like, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to hold that, and I'm wondering if we could make it a first item of business.
We'll do a proclamation.
Yeah. Do you do a first item of business also? Or just goes with the proclamation?
It's in the
Cool.
proclamation.
Thank you.
That's held under privilege. Okay, 11A to 11C, motions accept. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 12A, to be detained on the roll call. Roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council
We are
Calorio?
cooking.
Yes.
Council Haji, Council King?
Yes.
All we got left is tabled under privilege. Metal detectors.
Council
Yes.
Council Russell? Council Toomey?
Yes.
Mayor Petty?
Yes. 13A was tabled under privilege twice. I don't know if you want to table that, Council Russell, or
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to just ask a question directly to the manager, because each time him and I communicate, we're talking about information coming forward in an executive session. What's the plan for that?
I was going to file an item at the end of the night regarding executive session for next
Okay.
week.
All right, good. So then I will ask the table this item, because I don't want to have that discussion until we have that information.
Okay.
Which
Thank
item
you.
is that, Mr. Chairman?
What's that?
Which item are we on?
We are on 13A.
Is anyone else that plays Fortnite having trouble not buying the Shaq skins? Or
Just me.
just me? Just me having big trouble
Mr. Chairman,
avoiding spending $10 on
Okay,
the
so
skin?
First motion is 13A. Motion is to table it and roll call. By doing so,
does a
Council King?
motion to file take precedence over a motion to table?
I forget.
I don't know either.
Usually motion to file takes precedence, but we'll see.
I don't know.
Save us, Nico.
Nico.
Actually, Mr.
Nico's like,
Chairman,
what was
think
the question?
this
I was
on
just
the table
texting my
because
many hot
number
bitches.
File is actually
That's what I thought.
Okay.
number 6.
That's
Thank
how
you.
That's how we ruled last time.
Thank you.
So motion is to table, roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Calorio?
Yes.
Council Haji, Council King?
No.
Council Member Carlson?
Yes.
Council Nguyen? Council Hada?
Yes.
Council Patillo?
Yes.
Council Russell?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes.
Are Tell and 2 not even online tonight?
They both
That's
just
what it
skipped.
appears.
I love that power move.
And the suspension, I'm just going to, that the City Council convene executive session at the Tuesday, October 15, 2024 meeting for the purpose of discussing the deployment of security personnel or devices or strategy with respect thereto as the last item of business of the regular City Council meeting, and the City Council will not reconvene in open session.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
I was waiting to speak on 15H.
Oh, did I miss something?
Can I just speak on that real quick? I just want to amend it.
Hang on.
I'll wait for this vote, but I wanted to amend it.
I think we already adopted all this. There's nothing to
okay.
amend.
Okay.
Okay, so we're under.
So we can't amend that, right?
No, because we already adopted it. You're in the suspension, so mine is about the executive session on Tuesday, October 15th, 2024.
Mr. Mayor, if you'd like a roll call, or just pass
All
on
those in
the
favor?
vote?
Opposed, so ordered. Councilor Bergman?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't usually get up during items under suspension, but I was contacted
Dude,
by
stop
several people
lying
this week,
all the time.
and you may be aware of one of the incidents where apparently solar companies have been taking down trees on other people's properties to make their solar panels work better for their customers. And I don't know what we could do about it, because it seems like it's a private business doing something on private property.
What an HOA
But I've
question.
heard enough examples over the last week to make me ask if you could ask the city solicitor through the city manager, are they, I know there's an ordinance regarding going door-to-door soliciting.
Sunrun is such a fucking scam. And I'm getting real close to getting real weird with the people that won't stop coming to my house.
They're getting super aggressive.
They just won't fucking stop. They won't stop. And it's not the individual worker's fault. It's a different person every other week.
I think Inspection Service has this and has looked at, Mr. Manager. So
yeah, starting to.
So all those in favor? Opposed, so ordered.
Starting to get a little pushy.
To adjourn. All those in favor? Opposed, so ordered.
Wow.
Love to see it.
Pre 8 p.m.
Pre 8 p.m. That's crazy.
Love that.
Absolutely.
So what they filed the cigarette thing. Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Louis Ojeda went on a weird hour-and-a-half long rant.
Yeah, he's a star now.
Nothing else to report really about cigarettes, Instagram, homeless people sleeping outside. Jenny tried to surveil kids.
Yeah, Jenny wants to surveil your kids,
which I find interesting.
And a little creepy.
Yeah. She wants to. Yeah. What's next? We're going to put cameras in locker rooms, right? What's next?
Put cameras in the trees.
What's next?
What is next? What's next with her? We got to get her out of office.
Start putting cameras up skirts.
I gotta tell you guys, I got a sick roast in on Jenny on Instagram. She posted a picture of her kids, and just the caption just said "City Kids," and I wrote "You spelled shitty wrong," and
got her.
Yep. To the tune of 1 like. Pretty proud of it, and it was Jenny that liked it.
Well, there you go.
That's awesome.
But yeah, she's we gotta impeach her.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, nothing we didn't think anything crazy was gonna happen tonight. Nothing crazy did happen tonight. It was entertaining, I guess, in how that it was short enough to not get super annoying.
Yeah.
Ojeda's making the big push for re-election now. I think it's safe to say.
Political genius, political mastermind move.
Yep. He's got the juice. He's got the substance. So I'm excited.
I need to see that movie still.
Dude, you gotta see that movie.
I heard it's great.
It's incredible. Go see it tonight.
All right. Maybe I will.
Yeah, anyone that hasn't seen The Substance, you get your ass there, because it's buck nasty. What else? What? Nothing. I mean, yeah. I'm scared about the hurricane. I'm worried for people. It's a big I told you so from 80% of the country and Earth towards I don't know, I guess all politicians and every company that's ever existed, even small businesses.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's a fun world we live in right now. It's just going to get worse. It's never going to get better. These dumb orders are not going to save us. And we should revolt. We should be revolting, I think.
There we go. Cambria, I don't know when it'll be on YouTube. I just try to do a bounce right now, but it's not going to happen.
It'll be part. It's part of your. Is it part of this week's story?
It'll be part of this week's story.
Yeah. Well, people will see it. Don't rush him. Editing is hard. Okay.
It is hard.
Leave him alone. Video editing sucks.
It's difficult.
Gio, is this what you want the shirt to just say? Large player. Make sure I understand that correct.
I personally love that. I'm into it.
Pretty good.
Bill does need an intern.
Yeah, Bill.
No.
Yes, Cordellas has indoor seating.
No intern. Sorry.
What about? Do you need a part-time Fortnite player who will edit video for you?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
All right. What's the rate?
One chicken dinner a day.
In
Really?
V-Bucks.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take it. It's the most pressing currency to me right now. I need these Shaq skins.
Hey, you too. Break it up. Break it up.
Oh maybe like large is like bulging kind of.
Deal.
Any other takeaways from tonight that you guys had?
It was dumb.
No, that was really dumb.
Supremely dumb.
We have a weird hobby.
We're stupid idiots.
I know. I can't wait to go watch Law and Order.
Make sure you're following billshaner.substack.com for Worcester Sucks and I Love It.
Did you sell out of hats, Bill?
Yep, saw the last one yesterday.
Congratulations. Nicely done.
So I'm going to order some more merch soon. We're getting t-shirts in already. Just you wait and see. We have more stuff there.
Now you are doing the mainline Law and Order theme, not the SVU theme. Is that on purpose or?
Well. Yeah, it is. I don't remember the SVU.
Yeah, make sure that you're following us here. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel if you like to be.
Be creepy and follow us in real life too.
Yeah, follow us around, like we do to Fred Nathan.
You follow me around, you're not going to like where I'm going. I'll tell you that much right now.
The DMT store.
You're not going to like where I'm going.
You are not gonna like what you find. It is going to ruin your day. Also, there's a Cybertruck. I have to blow it up. This Friday night at Coney Island, Shaun, Connolly, and I are doing hot dog. I didn't put a poster up because I forgot. But yeah, our Halloween edition of hot dog. There you go. There I am. I hallude. And the Cybertruck has blown up.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Yeah, Halloween edition. It's gonna be spooky, scary. So check that out. Also, watch my show. It's Human Time. You can follow that at It's Human Time on Instagram, or subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is in the link in the Instagram. It's Human Time. Yeah, like I said, I got some interviews lined up and other ones I'm trying to line up. And if you've never watched Chibi Halloween, what are you doing? So please check that out. And the Bruins are losing 2-0 already. Good for them. Glad we re-signed Jerry Swayman. And yeah, is there a meeting next week? Do we have a meeting next week? We do, right? Yeah.
In an executive session.
We have an executive session, so we'll have plenty of Fortnite time next week.
We're doing it at the end, thankfully.
Yeah, we're gonna stay on and play Fortnite while they're in executive session, because it's important to be a part of the process, the civic process here in America.
We love civic process. Come over here, Bear. Get on the TV.
Oh, I have another Cybertruck to blow up.
Uninsurable piece of shit.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. 21 recalls in 1 year. Is that what I hear?
Wild.
I mean, I drive a Ford Bronco. There's a lot of recalls for that too, but they're mostly dumb stuff like the entertainment system. Nothing like insurance would care about. Yeah, Travis, you got anything coming up?
We're
At
doing
the
a no
Stewed?
jerks tomorrow in the afternoon.
Holy
We're trying something different. We're doing it at the public market. If people want to come down and hang out, come down.
Nice. Check out the new Korean spot.
It looks so friggin' good.
I know.
I've heard nothing
Oh,
but great
yeah,
reviews
yeah.
actually.
Oh my! This is my plug for the week, everybody. On Netflix, there's a Korean cooking show called Culinary Class Wars, which is a hilarious title. It's very much, if anyone ever watched Physical 100 on Netflix, it's kind of in that same vein, but it's cooking instead. It's very Korean, and it rules. It's so good. So definitely watch that if you're a Top Chef fan. Ed Lee is on it. American Top Chef and Iron Chef champion. It rules. It's so good. I love it. We're obsessed with it. So check that out. And no, what's that? That's the is that the Dump Matsumoto show? There's a Japanese wrestling show on Netflix that just came out. A lot of good Bryan centric content coming out on Netflix lately. Have you guys watched Mr. McMahon yet?
Not the whole thing.
Quite.
It sounds like he wasn't a very nice person.
He sucks. Yeah, I'm excited, Gio. I'm excited to watch that. I've heard really good things about it. I watched the Montreal Screwjob episode of Mr. McMahon last night and got real pissed at 1 o'clock in the morning. Even though I know that story inside and out, and nothing will surprise me about it. It just makes me so mad. If you have watched Mr. McMahon, there's a great book that came out last year by Josie Reisman called Ringmaster that goes way more in depth into his childhood. It's honestly horrible and a lot of shocking things, but it's very telling about why he is such a fucking piece of shit now. Yeah, check it out. It's a great book, and it covers a lot of the same area that the show does, but it goes into more in depth in a lot of different things that the show doesn't cover. But yeah, go watch Real TV, and I gotta kill this Cybertruck. Oh, no more Cybertrucks. Yeah. Do you guys anything else you guys want to talk about? Bill, we never talked about your Ireland trip.
No,
How was it? Where'd you go? What'd you do?
It was awesome. Went to Ireland, went to Amsterdam, went to foggy London town.
Ooh.
Eight rooms at Stonehenge. Did pictures where we poop on the Stonehenge, which was very fun. Establishing ourselves as the dominant England in between England and New England.
Hell yeah.
The new and improved England.
We have Ponyhenge here, so they gotta catch up.
Yeah, who needs it?
Yeah, it was some conspiracy podcast about Stonehenge. Apparently, there's a Stonehenge in Salem, New Hampshire.
Oh, yeah. I believe, yeah, there's something
Gotta go check that
freaky
out.
up there.
Yeah, we gotta go check that Salem, New Hampshire Stonehenge out. What else? No, I don't know. Nope. No other notes on that trip. Rewilding is a very trendy thing over in Worcester in Europe.
Oh yeah.
And would be cool to bring that. I noticed would be cool to bring that back to Worcester. No more lawns. Lawns fucking suck.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've gotten rid of almost all, like most of our lawn. Backyard for the dog still.
Yeah.
But the back half of our yard, we let it go wild. And we actually have bees in our in our like area again when they were completely gone a few years ago. So
Crazy how that works.
Do that. Everybody do that. Stop mowing your lawn.
Yeah. All right.
Stop paying your tolls on the highway.
Time for me to watch Law and Order.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Thanks for tuning in. As always, you guys are the best. We love you. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
You're dying.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.